Here we are with two physics students, Chris, who is a second year physics student, and Thao, who is third year physics student. And I'm going to ask them what motivated them to come and study physics. Thao, how did you get interested in physics in the first place?
Well, when I was a little kid, I liked a lot of pretty pictures, you know. So obviously I just looked at the pictures of the stars and the galaxies, and yeah, that was pretty much. I started reading astronomy books or looking at the pictures, and then I could read, so I read them, and then went out from there, pretty much.
So basically astronomy.
Yeah, astronomy first.
Physics. I know, I feel it the same way. What about you, Chris?
I guess I was similar. I sort of always had an interest in science from an early age, and then when I went through school, I enjoyed maths and those science subjects because of the problem-solving aspect of it, so that really appealed to me, and just following that path sort of led me here.
So did you find your high school science teacher very supportive, or was it sort of your interest was independent from what school was providing?
I did have that independent interest, but at the same time I also had a science teacher that was really enthusiastic and good at facilitating that interest. I went to a specialist science school, so that actually helped a lot to build the interest and see what I could do with it.
Right, so you came from John Monash Science School.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you'd taken some of the first year units in physics and computer science while you're still in high school. How did you came about to do that?
Yeah, so at my school they offered this university extension program, and I'd studied a bit of first year physics elsewhere, and I decided I wanted to explore another area, so I had a look at computer science, and having studied that, it allowed me to get a better idea of exactly what I wanted to do going into university.
Great. And what about you, Thao? How did you find your experience with science in high school? Was it positive, negative?
It was pretty neutral. Like I had some good teachers and I had some pretty bad ones. So it was mainly, I just read my own books, and that sustained my interest pretty much.
That's great. So when you enrolled at university, did that fulfill your expectation of what physics is about?
Not really, because we learned a lot about classical physics during first year and stuff, and that was totally new. Because obviously you read popular science books, so you hear about quantum field theory and string theory and Big Bang, all that really intense stuff. But when you get to first year, it's just mechanics.
Wow, it's a wax on, wax off, right? You have to do the basics.
Pretty much.
And so you are now third year student. Where you actually had access to all those now more specialized, interesting physics. How do you feel now?
It got better. So the first years were a bit meh, but now it's actually quantum theory, so it's good.
Great.
Yeah.
I listened sort of a bit of your third year project talk. Obviously, our sort of most advanced students get to do the project in third year. How did you find being actually involved in research?
It was actually really, really good. So I find that the best way to actually get interested in something is to actually do it. So
in comparison to the labs that you do, well, let's not mention for the first and second year, but let's say the labs that you do in third year, do you find them enough hands-on to explore different?
Well, I personally found all the labs too hands-on because I'm more into the theoretical side. So my research project was entirely pretty much done on paper with a computer for extra little stuff. That's it.
Right.
So
yes, we have some units that cater to theorists.
Yeah.
So it's good to have.
But that only happens in third year.
Yes. You have to remember hands-on, hands-off. You have to do it. What's your plan for next year?
So next year I plan to continue on my research project, but it was an honours project.
So the same project that you do can continue?
The same area,
right.
Pretty much. With the same supervisor as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what about you, Chris? You are continuing on to the third year?
Yeah, so I have another year of my undergraduate, and so what that means for physics is I'll probably look at doing, so I did a research project this past semester, I'll probably look at doing another one next year. So just
in a different area?
Yeah, I think I will use the time to look at some different areas and just make the most of this extra year in my undergrad to get some more research experience.
What was your project about that you did this semester?
So my project, it was sort of, I guess, atomic physics, and I was working with some really great supervisors. And we were looking at defining this new number and seeing what it is and how it varies. and this number we use to define sort of the usefulness of atoms for different purposes. So my project was, there was a lot of learning at the start about this new, I guess I'd touched on it in my physics studies, but I didn't know much about it, so I was learning this new content and then taking that knowledge and applying it with these new calculations.
So your project was mostly theoretical as well?
Yeah, it was mostly theoretical computational, yeah.
So is that what you prefer, theoretical over experimental?
I think I sort of have a natural inclination, but I do want to improve my experimental skills as well, so next year I might look into doing something a bit more hands-on.
That's great. Well, thank you so much, guys, and good luck with the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.